A complete meltdown by Anthony Joshua after once again clearly losing to the smaller guy, Alexander Usyk. That's what happened. But what stands out the most is he was about to get robbed. That's what they were going for, the judges. At least one of the judges was bought off. We had a corrupt as fuck judge. That one judge that had Anthony Joshua winning. How? How, Sway? How? Damn, 7 rounds? That one judge that had Anthony Joshua winning. 7 rounds. That one judge had 7 rounds for fucking Anthony Joshua. Can you believe that shit? 3 fucking rounds, maybe 4 tops, is all AJ won. The second, the third, and obviously the ninth round. I say obviously because it was really obvious. That's the only round where he came to life, Anthony Joshua, and he put full effort in both fights. He did not look better in any round but the ninth round in the rematch. In both fights, if you combine them, that's the one round where, wow, the guy's going for it. And that was it. Imagine you're the bigger guy, big ass muscular guy, and you get down for 24 rounds with the smaller, way smaller, former cruiserweight fighter. And that's that one round where you look the best because that's that one round where you actually went for it. One fucking round out of 24 rounds. Fucking embarrassing. And then that fucking post fight act, the post fight meltdown that he had, Anthony Joshua. Wow. That's just like, wow. Fucking mental midget. What the fuck was that all about? Now you fucking show aggression. Show that shit in one of the. He showed that aggression in one of the fucking rounds out of the 24 rounds that he fought against fucking Usyk. Fuck. At the end of that fight, he showed more aggression than any of those 24 fucking rounds against Usyk. Come on, man. Now you're gonna show that aggression? That was some fucking bullshit. Like he knew that his time at, of being at the top with the elite is over. That's why he was doing all that shit, man. He was like acting out of his ass. But yeah, man, going back to that judging, man, that dude, I mean, second, third, and the ninth round is all I saw. AJ winning. I mean, somebody could fucking say, oh, well, he won this round too. Okay, well, fuck it then. 4 rounds tops. That's all I give him. 12, 4 rounds tops. How the fuck do you come up with? How the fuck do you come up with 7 rounds? That judge. Wait, that other judge that had Usyk winning 7-5, that one's a little bit too fucking close for my liking already. For mostly everybody, unless you're a fucking AJ fan. 7 rounds to 5 for Usyk, it's already kind of fucking. But fuck it. They have the right man winning at least. Do you know what I mean? And then the other judge had it 8 rounds to 4. And like I said, yeah, I guess 4 rounds tops you give to AJ. So that judge was all right. 8 rounds to 4. But yeah, 7 rounds to 5 for Usyk was a little bit too much, but at least, they had the right man winning. But then 7 rounds to 5 for AJ. Pack your fucking bags and get the fuck out of here. What the fuck was that? I mean, that's corruption. You can't be that incompetent. You cannot be that fucking incompetent. You cannot be that stupid if you're a judge. I mean, they got experience. They've been doing it for a while. It don't matter how old you are, how good your fucking eye vision is. That is corruption. There is no way in hell that you're going to see 7 rounds won by AJ in that fight. No fucking way. That's corruption. That fucking judge was bought off. They got to investigate him. They got to look into his fucking the money trail, his bank accounts, his fucking records, his phone calls, and that's corruption. He took money from somewhere, and most likely, from AJ's team, Matchroom Boxing. Most likely that's where it came from. That is corruption at its finest. And then yeah, that man, damn, goddamn, all that fucking that whole scene that he did at the end, then taking the spotlight away from Usyk. Unbelievable effort by Usyk. Both fights, the smaller guy came up from cruiserweight, and he's finally passed AJ because the rematch was right there. So he knew he had to fight him again after the first fight. So you don't have that complete relief that you have moved on from this victory of yours. You got to do it again. So he finally does it again. And look at what fucking AJ does, just stealing the spotlight away from him, doing his fucking tantrums, and actually being a sore fucking loser, man. By the time he did all that sore loser shit, all his tantrums, and he got to, when he stole the fucking mic, he actually was being a little gracious on the mic. Like, man, maybe he cooled down a little bit and he realized while everybody was quiet, just fucking listening what the fuck he was saying because he grabbed the mic and the whole stadium was hearing. Because, in the beginning, when he grabs the mic, he starts talking about himself and his beginning, his upbringing coming into the fucking boxing world and this and that. It's like, dude, that's stealing the spotlight completely away from the winner. And then he goes and he starts being a little gracious towards Usyk. But I mean, it's a little too late, bro. It's too late. You did too many fucking tantrums already. Let's go down. Let's go down the fucking step by step. Is fucking tantrums. As soon as the fucking judges, the scorecards are read. I mean, well, the broadcast that we had in the U.S. was different than the broadcast that the UK had. Thanks to the broadcast from the UK is where we started finding out over here in the US. Mostly everybody had the zone broadcast, the regular zone broadcast, and then because it was only pay per view in the UK, so we started watching videos like on social media because Sky Sports started putting them on social media. We started seeing this other bullshit that he was doing, all the tantrums that he was doing, AJ, because we didn't see most of that shit. We didn't see most of it on the DAZN broadcast, the regular one over in the US. We just see him. We didn't even see when he threw the fucking belts out of the ring. We see they put the camera on him when he's like walking towards his locker room, towards the dressing room, and and everybody starts wondering, whoa, he's not gonna talk after the fight, post fight interview up in the ring. I guess not. I guess he's pissed off. So we see him walking away, and then it looks like he's trying to like get into it with the crowd as he's walking away. And almost as he's getting to the end of that hallway, which leads you into the dressing room area where it leads you away from the fans. It's like where he stops. And then he starts arguing, turns around, and comes back. And they try to stop him. I think it was Chisora the whole time that was trying to stop him. So then, so we were watching bits and pieces of it on the DAZN broadcast. It was Sky Sports, the one that started showing us all that shit. We missed it over here. I didn't see it. I had to fucking see it on social media on Sky Sports. He actually threw fucking. He grabbed the WBA world title of Usyk and the Ring Magazine world title, which was also on the line. Remember, because fucking Fury vacated that shit. So he grabbed both of them and he started like you could read his lips and you could hear a little bit of it. He was talking about fuck the belts, and he was like looking at the crowd, and Usyk is in the back, and his people are like just looking at him like, bro, what the fuck is going on? That's I think that's the beginning of the meltdown, and that's where he throws the fucking belts out, and then he turns around and he starts arguing with somebody from Usyk's camp, from his team. And fuck, I don't know, man. It was like so much going on. I couldn't believe it when everything. I mean, I'm telling you, the regular broadcast in the US, we didn't see all that shit. So then that's when I think That's when he walks out of the ring, goes and comes back, and then when he comes back, when first he storms out of the ring, I think his dad tried to held him up, and he just said, let go of me, let go of me." So he walks away. He has a little thing he was going, I don't know, the little argument he was having with the crowd. Gets to the very end, almost finishing, where the fans end, where he's about to go into the hall, into the dressing room, has a little dispute, comes back, goes back in, and he comes in still a little, hostile, a little aggressive, and he goes right up to Usyk, and he starts like confronting Usyk and asking, I mean, like demanding for Usyk to explain why he beat him. Can you imagine that shit? You fucking lose a fight and you don't go up to the judges and complain. You go up to the fucking fighter and demand him to explain why you lost to him. And Usyk was like, listen, listen. Like he tried to talk to him, like calm him down. And my fucking agent was talking about how the skills and this and that. And you don't have power. I have power. You don't have power. I got character and shit like that. How is it that you beat me and shit? I mean, fuck, it was unbelievable. I couldn't fucking believe what I was hearing. And then after that, when he was trying to like calm him down, Usyk can try to talk to him, because his English is already fucking limited to begin with. That's when he goes around fucking demanding for the fucking microphone, and somebody gave him the fucking microphone. Somebody from production or something should have never gave him the fucking microphone. And on top of that, he grabs the fucking flag from Usyk to wrap it around himself to go do his little speech, his little bizarre fucking speech. So while he starts doing his little bizarre speech, is when Usyk comes back to him, like to try to get the flag back from him. And AJ was like, "Hey, hey, hey, let me do it, let me do it. I'm talking here." And then he's like, "Oh, okay, okay." And he realized that Usyk was just trying to get his flag back because it was kind of already being kind of disrespectful. Like you just took the flag away from him, away from him. You're already taking the spotlight away from him. Grab the flag, wrap it around yourself. Like I mean, if you're showing fucking respect, I understand. So you would let the guy to take your flag. He's showing respect, but he's not really showing respect. He's talking shit. He's taking the spotlight away from you. He already grabbed your fucking world titles and threw them out of the fucking ring. So man, I mean, this whole shit was fucking bizarre as fuck. And then yeah, I mean, he grabs the mic finally and he's doing his fucking thing, his speech, whatever, like I said earlier, and he was talking about himself, his upbringing, I think his fucking coming into the boxing world, what he went through, and this and that. And then he was a little gracious at the end and talking about Usyk and this, whatever. So all that shit ended, and he goes back in. And as he's over there inside the hallways, going into with all his whole crowd, his whole team, trying to go back into his locker room, dressing room, this is where he gets into with that guy. Everybody's reporting about that guy that he got into it inside that told him to act professional. Some guy in there told him act professional, and he got offended by that shit. And he turned around and said, "What? Who the fuck you talking? Who the fuck you talking to?" And this and that. He tried to go at him, and his team pushed him back. Well, guess who that fucker was? That guy that told him to be professional is the fucking referee that was refereeing the fucking co-main event between that Chinese dude, the big Chinese dude, Sele Sang, and Filip Govic, the one from Croatia. That is the referee from that fight from the co-main event. The one that yelled at him and told him to keep it professional. And when AJ got offended and tried to go at him, it's amazing, man. Amazing. The fucking referee from the co-main event was embarrassed by his fucking actions. And that's why he had the need to go up to him and tell him, be fucking professional, bro. What was that? So yeah, a lot of people are reporting that incident, but not everybody's reporting that. That is the referee from the co-main event. Even that ref had the need to go up to him and tell him something because he was acting like a fucking idiot, fucking dumbass. And talking about that co-main event, man, that co-main event was good as fuck. That was a good co-main event. I don't know, man. They call it controversial because it was a close fight. They're talking about the Chinese dude Sang. That a lot of people saying that he should have won. I saw the whole fight. It was a close fight, and I understand if he didn't get it because Sang he gave up a lot of rounds. He gave up a lot of rounds. You know, both of them were trying to recover, pace themselves because they're big guys and they were getting tired. The guy from Croatia, Filip Govic, he was actually battling his cardio and being hurt. He was actually getting hurt and he got dropped in the first round. But the Chinese dude was giving up too many fucking rounds. So I could have gone either way. It could have gone either way. But yeah, that was a good ass fight too. The Callum Smith fight, that was fucking good as fuck too, man. We saw his power again. We saw his power again. He's a problem for anybody in that weight division. Everybody trying to say that stands no chance against Better BF. He stands no chance against Bibol. Bullshit. Mostly everybody that says that are just Canelo fans, and they don't want to see a Canelo past opponent looking good and becoming a world champion again. This guy is a problem. He has power. All right, on Facebook, we're talking about Ramiro Guerra is talking about that Chinese dude. The fight before wasn't right either. The Chinese guy should have won or at least a draw. Yeah, that's what I was talking about, man. It was controversial because of that. A lot of people thought that the Chinese guy should have won, but it was a close fight, man. I'm telling you, he gave up too many fucking rounds. It was a close fight. It looked like he should have taken it because he dropped him in the first round. And the rounds that he won, he actually hurt the guy from Croatia. He hurt him. A lot of times it looked like he was about to go down. At some point, it looked like he was gonna even quit. It looked like when he would get hurt, like he would turn around and like kind of like walk away. But somehow he would just gather himself back up and recuperate and throw his fucking damage back at the fucking Chinese dude because he was throwing some fucking bombs at him too. They were both landing. It's just that, yeah, the rounds that the Chinese guy won, he won them clearly by hurting the other guy. And when the rounds that the Chinese guy lost, he was actually just losing in points. He was getting tagged, and then because he was taking a breather, trying to recover, his cardio was off. He's already 39 years old. They're both big guys, heavyweight division. So he was more like trying to, pace himself with the cardio, the Chinese guy, when he was losing rounds. But when he was winning rounds, it looked like he was hurting the other guy. But at the end of the day, it's like who won more rounds? And I was not judging it. Like I wasn't writing down who was winning how many rounds here and there. I was just watching it, getting ready for the main event. It just turned out to be a good fight. But I just saw that he gave up too many rounds, kind of like in the second half of the fight, 7, 8, 9 rounds. In the seventh, eighth, and ninth, it's around the time he was giving him too many rounds. And then at the end, who won the championship rounds? It looked like the guy from Croatia won the championship rounds. So I don't know, man. It could have gone either way, man. It was a good fucking event. It was a good event. So yeah, people are, they're complaining about Ramiro Guerra. He's talking about that ref was whack. Um, I don't know what ref you're talking about. I'm assuming you're talking about the judge from the main event. That should have, never ever. How are you gonna give 7 rounds to AJ? Motherfucker won 3 rounds, tops 4. That's it. Yeah, and then what do we got? What do we have after that? We had Showtime, the Showtime fights. I told you, man. Fucking Omar Figueroa fucking washed up like a motherfucker. What do you do? End up quitting again against Sergey Lipinets. The guy was taking the fucking fight on what fucking a week notice. The guy didn't even train for you. All he did was fucking try to lose weight. That's all he did. Just doing weight cut. That was it. I told you, man. Omar Figueroa against Broner was like such a weak ass fight because they were both washed up like a motherfucker. Well, Broner pulled out. Omar Figueroa, stays in the main event. And who does he get? Lipinets. Lipinets ain't washed up. He ain't over the hill. What? So he came in and gave him a fucking beating. He even dropped him and made him quit in the eighth round. And what is that? Second consecutive fight where fucking Omar Figueroa quits. He quit on the last fight. That was one of his fucking attributes was, punch resistance. He would fucking go balls out against anybody. Like he was like Margarito. He would take all the punishment in the world and he would dish it back out. Well, you can't fight like that all your fucking career because at the end, your punch resistance is going to go away. You're not going to be able to take fucking punches anymore. And that's what happened with Omar Figueroa. He can't even take them anymore. That's why he quit in his last fight and he quit in this one yesterday. Fucking weak ass fight, man. That Broner versus Omar Figueroa, I couldn't believe that make that shit a main event. Well, there you go. A real fighter that's not over the hill, washed up, came in and gave him a fucking beating. The fuck out of here. So, and then ESPN, we had Emmanuel Navarrete. He shows up and, he takes care of business. Had a lesser opponent. We knew he was going to win. It was just a matter of when, what round, how he was going to win. And, he won like a fucking Mexican. Body shots. He finished him with a fucking badass body shot. Well located. Pop. Down he went. And that was it. Fight's over. So, I don't know. Emmanuel Navarrete, he's with Top Rank. He just signed a new deal with Top Rank. I hope they match him up with Shakur Stevenson. I ain't saying he's going to beat him. But that's a good fucking matchup because everybody knows how difficult it is to beat Shakur Stevenson. And we all know how Emmanuel Navarrete is awkward as fuck. And that awkwardness might give him some difficulties, man, to Shakur Stevenson. I'm not saying he'll beat him, but it'll probably be a competitive fight, man. Shakur Stevenson has, as great as he looks, he's had some fucking problems in the past against some way lesser opponents than that. I forgot what fucking opponent he had, where he even apologized that he didn't look good. So I think Emmanuel Navarrete, Shakur Stevenson will be a good ass fight around that weight class where he's at. Because, Emmanuel Navarrete would have to go up because he's at 126. Shakur Stevens is at 130. But, who the fuck else is Shakur going to fight? The other world champions at 130 where he's at, Cordina, and I don't know who the fuck the other guy is. He fucking takes care of him like nothing. That ain't no match for him. So unless, for now, until he moves up to 135, that's the best matchup there is right there, Emmanuel Navarrete. Emmanuel Navarrete is already a fucking big 126 pounder, a big featherweight. That motherfucker, did you see him at the weigh-in for this fight? Shit. You seen that belly was sucked in like a motherfucker, man. That fool was dry, man. He barely makes 126. So him going up to 130 to challenge Shakur, ain't no problem right there. I think he'll be even more healthier, man. He ain't got to fucking drain himself. So that would be a good-ass fucking fight. Yeah, and then after the boxing fights, what did we have? What did we have? We had this fucking shit-talking motherfucker over here. Huh? What happened? Look at that. Night. Huh? Rock my baby. La 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 la. Look at that. Asleep with his fucking eyes open. But what was he talking about? What was that shit he was talking about? Fucking Canelo and this and that. Look, man, stay in your fucking lane, bro. Look at your ass. Asleep with your fucking eyes wide open in your fucking sport. Talking about you gonna fucking beat the best fucking fighter in boxing and talking shit like if Canelo was scared of you. Look at your ass. Asleep with your fucking eyes wide open. That's what you get. And don't get me wrong, man. I like Usman, man. Camaro Snooze Man. That's his new nickname now. Snooze Man. I like him. I like what he did in the past when he beat that Covington guy. He beat Jorge Masvidal, but he started talking out of his ass and, using fucking Canelo's name. Like, bro, get the fuck out of here, bro. Trying to act like Superman and shit. Like he could fucking look at that. Look at your ass, man. Having troubles in your own fucking sport, man. Flat on your back, stretch the fuck out, asleep with your eyes open, man. Looking like one of those fucking toys from Toy Story when Andy walks in the room. Play dead. Look at that. I hope you learn your lesson, buddy. Keep fucking Canelo's name out your motherfucking mouth. Worry about your boys, man. Worry about your boys right there in your sport. Look at what they do to you. Look at how they leave you. And everybody remember when fucking Canelo lost to B-Ball, this motherfucker tweeted something talking shit. You know, he's always been talking shit about Canelo. He's trying to goad him into a fight. Canelo doesn't even pay attention to him. Well, he was, he's trying to feel almighty and talk shit about Canelo, and Canelo just lost in points. He lost by points. He got outpointed by a bigger guy. He went up in weight to fight a bigger guy. And what happened? He got outpointed. That's it. Look at your punk ass in your own weight class. Put to fucking sleep with your eyes wide open. That's right. Stay in your fucking lane. Yeah, so what's up, man? Good news on this shit, man. This shit just broke out today, man. We got the fucking B-Ball fight happening against Zurdo Ramirez. Shit. Bomb ass fight, man. That's the best thing that could have happened since fucking Better BF fucking ducked him. Better BF dug B-Ball straight out. Only one fight left to be undisputed. And what does fucking Better BF do? Even before his fight against Joe Smith Jr., he signs a contract to fucking fight Anthony Yard. And motherfuckers be talking about Anthony Yard is mandatory. Yeah, but that fight wasn't ordered. Anthony Yard versus Better BF was never ordered by the WBO. Never. The only reason they say that was as mandatory because you know how that's another word for number one challenger to your bout. When you reach, you're ranked as number one and you're the world champion, that's your mandatory. But if you hold multiple world titles, you have different mandatories. But until that fucking organization orders that fight, that's your real mandatory. Like you can't get out of it. You got to file a request. If you're trying to make a unification, file a request or get some step aside money to put that fucking fight that was ordered to the side so you could fight a unification fight. Well, it never even got to that fucking point. The WBO never fucking ordered Anthony Yard against Better BF. And he still fucking was quick to sign that fucking contract to fight Anthony Yard even before he fought Joe Smith Jr., knowing he was going to be one fight away, one bout away from becoming undisputed and fight B-Ball. And B-Ball made it clear as soon as he fucking beat Canelo that he didn't even want the rematch with Canelo because it gives nothing to him. He wants to unify. He wanted to be the undisputed champion. He was looking for that. He made it really clear and vocal. He was vocal. He wanted to fucking fight Better BF next. Better BF was quick to sign that shit. Anthony Yard. Fuck out of here. That shit was never ordered. So, and then what happens? Better BF gets injured with an undisclosed fucking injury. Who the fuck even knows if that's even true? That was just buying time to fucking Doug B-Ball. He's just happy. He's good enough that he's coming off a victory where he beat fucking the leftovers of B-Ball. Fucking Joe Smith Jr. And then you duck B-Ball. Better be as a fucking culo fucking bitch. All these fucking fans fucking on the nuts talking about fucking this and that. He would do this and his knockouts and this and that. Fuck out of here. He's a fucking bitch. Straight out ducked B-Ball. Fuck you doing signing a fight. Anthony Yard. Imagine me one fight away, one bout away from being undisputed, bro. Imagine that shit. And you go and you sign to fight Anthony Yard, bro. Anthony Yard. Fuck. An easy fucking fight. A fight you know you're gonna fucking win. Somebody don't want it. So what does fucking B-Ball do? Shit. The fuck? He has to fight somebody now. And then the WBA stepped in. Because, I mean, they weren't going to get in the way either from the undisputed fight with Better BF and B-Ball. They didn't order this fight with Zurdo Ramirez until now, this week. They were like, okay, well, I guess we're going to have to order this shit since fucking Better BF didn't go for the undisputed fight. I guess we're going to go in. And you see, this fight got ordered. This is a real mandatory. B-Ball versus Zurdo Ramirez is ordered by the WBA. Mandated. This is a real mandatory. Anthony Yard Better BF, that shit was no real mandatory. That shit was never ordered. Never. That was just Better BF running away from B-Ball. But this is the best thing that could happen for us, the fans. Better be if bitched out. He don't want to get the undisputed fight with Bibol. What do we get? Bibol versus Zurdo Ramirez? Nice. You know that's going to be a badass fight. Who the fuck knows who wins? This is a 50-50 fight. Fucking Zurdo Ramirez, he's a big boy, man. He's big. He's going to have that size advantage on Bibol, the same one that Bibol had on Canelo. So us as fans, we happy as fuck, man. But the Better BF fanboys making all these stupid ass excuses and bullshit to defend their boy Better BF. What I just said right now is nothing but fucking facts. It ain't my fucking opinion. That fight was never fucking ordered or mandated by the WBO, Anthony Yard and Better BF. Never. And that fight was already done before his fucking fight against Joe Smith Jr. When you're only one bout away from fucking becoming undisputed. That's fucking ducking at his finest, bro. Ducking at his finest. But you see, we got a lot of fucking fanboys that Better BF. They don't want to fucking. They don't want to fucking acknowledge that. They don't want to. I mean, and now not only do Better BF fanboys, there's a lot of new Better BF fanboys. Why? Because they were quick to take sides. Because it was all about Bibol and Better BF to be undisputed, and they were quick to take sides. Why? Because Bibol is connected to Canelo. You know what I mean? So all the Canelo haters, boom, who are they gonna go for? Naturally, obviously, they're gonna go for fucking Better BF. But you see, that's the reason they did that. They quickly took sides because that was the only fight to be done, right? The only two fighters left in that division to see who's the best. And what did fucking Better BF do? He already had signed that shit to fight Anthony Yard, running away from the Bibol fight. So this is what we get now. I mean, the only thing I don't like is that fucking Bibol fight against Zurdo Ramirez, as you can see, has been agreed to, but it's gonna go down in the Middle East. It's like, come on, man, give us that shit over in the US, man. Now it's gonna be like fuck. Early afternoon, like this fucking fight, AJ and Usyk, like early in the afternoon kind of fucking time. They're gonna fight over there. So, but fucking man, it's a good ass fight, man. And I mean, yeah, they're both on the zone. So there we go, November 5th. Yeah, and then next week we got, looks like that's the only fight. Next weekend, next Saturday, we got Jose Pedraza versus Richard Comey, top rank event on ESPN. Yeah, it looks like both ESPN and ESPN Plus. And then on the co-main event, it's going to be Jared Anderson, the heavyweight. You got Richard Torres Jr., F.A. Ajagba, the heavyweight. He's still fighting? Shit. So it looks like that's going to be the only one coming up next Saturday. And then after that, the Saturday after that is going to be that Andy Ruiz versus Luis Ortiz. I mean, my only complaint, like I've been saying over and over, is the fact that it's on pay-per-view. But fuck it, it's a good fight, man. Shit, I'm going to watch it. I'm going to just stream it. And then, yeah, we got fucking Chihuahua Cruz right there, fighting a fucking nobody on the co-main event, running away from, like, Ryan Garcia. Come on, man. Abner Mares. So that one's all right. Pretty good. Yeah, man. I mean, fucking Zurdo Ramirez versus Bibol. Shit. I mean, shit, man. And Zurdo Ramirez is a big guy. Like I said, man, the weight advantage goes right there. Bibol is going to feel what Canelo felt. He's fighting the bigger guy now, but Zurdo Ramirez could be so fucking slow too, man. And Bibol is quick, man. Better boxing skills too. Zurdo Ramirez comes, he looks like lethargic and slow at times. Like, he's a big guy. He was even talking about fighting at cruiserweight. So, but he's a southpaw, zurdo, so it could be complicated for Bibol. But I mean, Bibol has fought bigger guys. He's fought bigger guys. So yeah, we'll see. That's his weight class. Zurdo, he's a big guy, but he just came up to that weight class too. So we'll see. He's a confident guy with skills, Bibol. So I don't think he's worried about the fucking size at all. Yeah, and then we had Deontay Wilder. I agree with Deontay Wilder. He was his statement after the Anthony Joshua fight against Usyk. Yeah, he was talking about that. That's the reason why they try to tie him up, because they knew that he would beat Anthony Joshua, so they could have a star after he beats Anthony Joshua. And it's true that they were trying to tie him up. They wouldn't give him a fucking fight head up, like just any deal to fight Anthony Joshua. It was always trying to tie him up to a long term contract. Deontay Wilder's always had a home. He didn't need a fucking home. Why were you trying to give him a home? Force him to have a new home in order to fight AJ. So it was always this bullshit. They knew that he was gonna fucking fuck up AJ. And then they even tried to tie him up with like he had to fight other fighters for matchroom boxing and shit like that. So that's what he was talking about. Right after the fight, he tweeted that that's the reason they tried to tie him up because they knew he was gonna fuck up AJ. So they needed a star after that, which is bullshit. And that's the reason AJ and his team, Eddie Hearn, they killed that fucking fight. It would have been to be undisputed, Deontay Wilder versus AJ back in those years, and that's what he's talking about, and it's fucking true. And then we had fucking Tyson Fury. We knew it was Tyson Fury was going to be clowning. He came out clowning, but he confirmed that he's going to fight the winner, which is going to be Usyk. But he's also saying to take out that paycheck. He's always said that he doesn't care about money, but now he's fucking demanding. It sounds like he's demanding that they take out the checkbook. Because he needs to. The only reason he's going to take the fight. That's what he's saying is if they pay him big time. And remember in the past he came out talking about they had to pay him like 500 fucking million. Like, bro. So hopefully it's all bullshit and behind closed doors during negotiations. He stops fucking talking like that and gets serious and make this fucking fight happen. There's no other fight. Usyk even came out saying post fight that he doesn't even want to fight anymore unless it's Fury. So he's kind of like making it seem like maybe he wants to retire after this fight. Like he's probably thinking about just Usyk and that's Tyson Fury and that's it. So that's the way they should. And then Tyson Fury's been talking about retiring. Nobody even fucking knows if he's retired or not right now. Well, both of you, whoever wins could go off into the fucking sunset as the winner, undisputed. Usyk would be fucking undisputed in two weight classes, so it would be perfect for him to retire if he wants. So this is a perfect fight. No other fight. There's no other fight needed in the heavyweight division for those world titles. It would be some fucking bullshit. Like we don't want to see nothing else but that. That's it. There's nothing else to be made. So we'll see. It's all about Tyson Fury. It's fucking obvious. It's what kind of bullshit Tyson Fury is going to try to pull. So you got to be ball, hand wrapped in deep waters on YouTube is asking me. No, I made it fucking clear that I don't know who would win. 50-50. Surdo Ramirez Bibol. No, it's 50-50. I don't know who would win. It's just that fucking good of a fight. And it's the best thing that could have happened. So yeah, Pedro on Instagram is talking about whoever wins wouldn't be a need for him to keep fighting. Yeah, I'm assuming you're talking about Usyk versus Tyson Fury. Yeah, if you want to retire, you're gonna retire as the top dog. And Usyk would retire like fucking legendary status, man. He would retire being undisputed at cruiserweight and heavyweight. That's amazing. And he would be doing it by taking out the two top fucking fighters from the UK, man. AJ and fucking Fury. That would be, fuck, dude. Can you imagine that victory? I don't know how he would do it. I love Usyk, and I consider him the number one pound for pound now that fucking Canelo lost. But I feel like he can't go further than this because beating Fury after AJ, I think it's going even more beyond what he already went through. Look at the fucking size difference. You could tell that was the fucking difference, the size difference where he would struggle. He clearly beat AJ in both fights, but he still struggled because of the size difference. Well, fucking AJ is 6'6". Fucking Fury 6'9". And that motherfucker fights tall. He fights tall. So, like, damn. And Usyk ain't got no power. So I feel like in that fight, I don't think Usyk could win. I really don't, man. Unless, I don't know, what the fuck do we see Tyson Fury losing a step? Getting careless? Like, I feel like this is the fucking farthest he's gone, Usyk, in the heavyweight division at beating the top fighters. Wilder is another tall guy, obviously with all the fucking power in the world. But Usyk might have some success right there because we don't know fucking Wilder where he's at right now. He just came off those fucking tough fights against Fury, and that's what we're waiting to see where he's at for this upcoming fight he has against fucking Hellenius, by the way, who looks like the Walmart Tyson Fury. Um, yeah, we're waiting for the fight to see where the fuck what he looks like. So depending on what he looks like there, then I would fucking have an idea if Usyk even has a chance against fucking Wilder. Because Wilder's another big ass fool, man. He's almost as tall as fucking Fury, and he has that fucking power of just fucking turn your fucking lights out. Look at the success that fucking AJ had against Usyk in that ninth round in this last fight in the rematch from yesterday. He had success. Why? Because he finally grew a pair of balls and he went at him. He fucking went at him. He threw everything at him. Can you imagine Wilder doing that shit every fucking round? And Wilder got some serious fucking power. He probably knocked the fuck out Usyk, man. So I don't know, man. But like I said, we got to see that fucking fight, man. Where the fuck is he? What if he lost a step? What if he's punch drunk now? What if he was fucking 3 battles he took against Fury? So where's he at now? And then the long layoff, he's been off. He hasn't been that active. So we got to see that. Yeah, Usyk. So that's why I'm saying Usyk winning against Fury. Oh my god, that's some fucking legendary shit. Yeah, Pedro saying that should be some legendary shit. I fucking agree, man. Imagine that shit. That would be because, like I said, man, that's a bigger obstacle. That's a way bigger obstacle. And then on top of that, the size difference. They're both equally skilled. They both got great skills, but it's just the size. And we already seen Tyson Fury could use his fucking size to his advantage. We seen him do it against Wilder, and Wilder's a fucking big guy with power. So if he uses that fucking size against such a little fucker like Usyk, and Fury has fucking skills just like Usyk, so you know what I mean? I mean, fuck, that wouldn't be too. That's too fucking. That's too difficult, man. I think that's gonna be too much for Usyk to overcome. I mean, it's already extraordinary what he did with AJ, man. And you can see the fucking size difference with AJ. I mean, look at the first fight. He clearly beat AJ. But look at his face. His face looked worse than this last fight. He had to go through fire, man. The other guy's way bigger, man. And AJ, fucking AJ, he's not as good as fucking Tyson Fury and Wilder. Not even close. That's the reason why Usyk ended up beating him. And he still got marked up. He took some punches. He went through fire. And we're talking about AJ, mental fucking midget that won't let his hands go. He won't impose his body. He's scared. The fucking stamina issue, his fucking weak chin, whatever it is, whatever the fucking reason is, he won't go. He won't fucking use his fucking size as an advantage and go balls out on the fucking smaller guy. Well, Fury and Wilder, they will. So I don't know, man. I don't think Fury could beat either Wilder. I mean, I don't think Usyk could beat either Wilder or Fury. Wilder, we'll see. We'll see how Wilder looks against Walmart, Tyson Fury, Robert Helenius. We'll see. Yeah, and then we don't know what's going on the PBC side too. They're gonna probably try to keep it in house. I mean, they're fighting pretty close. The dates are pretty close to each other. Wilder and Andy Ruiz. I feel like they're hoping for Andy Ruiz to beat Luis Ortiz because they're not. I mean, good luck trying to sell fucking Luis Ortiz against fucking Wilder the third fight. Nah, what for? He beat him twice. He knocked him out 2 times. So that fight's not gonna happen. So I think they're hoping that El Butterbean beats fucking Luis Ortiz, and they're going to try to make that fight with Wilder. So, yeah, I'm just bringing up Wilder against Usyk because, it's a top fighter. It's a top heavyweight. But I don't think they're looking in that direction. They're going to try to build them back up, Wilder, and then we'll see how what he's going to wait for probably, have an undisputed fighter. Hopefully it gets done. He's gonna be hoping that it gets done, Usyk versus Fury. And, just wait. Try to build himself back up. And I think it's the best plan. But Fury beats Usyk, and Wilder's racking up victories over here on PBC. Who knows? Imagine that fight. Imagine they make that fight again, 4th time. I mean, if Wilder builds himself back up and gets some good ass victories, why not? This time it's gonna be to be undisputed. I mean, the three times that they fought, it was just for fucking what? The WBC. And then the third fight was the Ring magazine. And then had the lineal, but it was never like close to even being for undisputed. So I mean, shit. But we'll see, man. Fury probably beats Usyk and he retires. Who knows? Gives up all the belts, and then Wilder comes in and try to become world champion again at the heavyweight division. But I mean, all these scenarios I'm talking about is what if this and that. Who gives a fuck? The only thing that everybody gives a fuck is about that fight happening, the undisputed fight. Usyk, Fury. What the fuck else? And it was a good sign that Fury came out talking when he did that video. He was doing his little demand of money again, whatever, but at least he's interested, you know? So, and he didn't give up the WBC. He gave up the Ring magazine. So, you know, still be a unification fight for undisputed. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.